SteamOS is number 5. The reason why is because it's pretty much a practical joke made by Valve at the expense of the users that who use Steam, because it makes your computer more like a game console, which in reality is not ideal for PC gaming at all. Anyway, it does that by integrating their DRM and store and shoving it in your face. And it pretty much integrates them to a subatomic level as well. You do not want that. That's why it's rated number 5, but it is actually better than every other operating system on this list. Corel Linux is up next. Corel Linux is the most unstable Linux distribution ever. Its goal was to stop Microsoft from having a monopoly on all desktop computers. Supposedly, it could migrate settings from Windows. It also looked very advanced at the time, but the installer broke so many times and installations magically disappeared when it supposedly finished. It even struggled to run on the best computers of the time. Weirdly enough, the next 3 operating systems are intended for embedded systems. Symbian OS was one of the worst operating systems ever. It couldn't run programs intended for older versions, which is why backwards compatibility is so important in an operating system. Not to mention all the bugs and glitches you will encounter when you use this. And then the web browser, the only one that ran on it and the only one it came with, could not load most web pages at the time or anymore. Java OS is the worst operating system you never heard of. It was only made so Sun could show off their own programming language, Java, which was slow as mud at the time. Making an operating system in Java was the worst idea ever, and almost the worst operating system ever. Alright, this one will piss some people off. iOS is the worst operating system ever. Yes, this really is number 1 on this list. It is not a mistake. iOS won't let you do anything unless it's graciously blessed by Apple. Everything you need may not be available on the App Store due to their BS. Yes, they have all kinds of BS with what can be on the App Store and what can't. And you can only install programs from the App Store. Anything that seems advanced about it was ripped from Android. Unlike any other operating system, you cannot manage your files. You have to trust the operating system does it automatically. This allows Apple to delete a file without your permission. In order to transfer files, you have to have a Mega or Dropbox account. And don't forget that there's no file manager. If you have an iPhone, you cannot uninstall it because iOS manages calls and texts on iPhones.